Alright, so what we're going to do is, it's not an instructional video, it's just a demonstration video on some of the fundamentals on the most important positions that you're going to find in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if you're on top, going back, turn this way. The most common positions you're going to find are side control over here. This is when I'm past his legs, turn this way a little bit, there we go. Alright, I'm going to be on the north side of his hip towards his head. Alright, I want this arm this way, behind his head, and I want to underhook this over here. When I'm in side control, I have two options that I really want to go for with my knees. I could either bring them in, so I have pressure on controlling the inside of his body, or I could bring them out where I lower my hips. Alright, when I have this grip, I want to put shoulder pressure on his face. Let's do it from this angle. Alright, so again, I either walk my knees in or I bring them out. I have this head trapped and I underhook this side and I grab a gable grip. Gable grip looks like this. You put your thumbs together, grip like that. Alright, shoulder pressure right over here. Always want their head looking the other way. Alright, mount. You usually get there from side control more times than not. Right over here. When I'm here, I have different submissions I could set up. I could also throw punches, elbows, whatever I'm doing. And last, come this way a little bit, is guard. This is where my opponent wants to be if I'm on top. He has various submissions and sweep setups that he could do. My objection is to get out of guard. When I'm on my back, the main place that I want to be is guard. Alright, so as you saw a little bit, I'm going to go over here. I want my feet wrapped around my opponent. Alright? We're going to basically make an X. If I don't have that locked up and it's open, he could pass guard. Go ahead. Now he gets inside control. Now I have to fight to either get out on top or back to guard. So go back to my guard. Anytime I'm on my back, if I'm not getting up, this is where I want to be. Two reasons. One, it prevents him from advancing position. Two, I have attacks, many different kinds that I could set up, where I could go for submissions or sweeps. But I need to be in full guard to do these moves. A few fundamentals you want to think about when you're in guard, aside from locking those ankles up, is if we're doing gi, you could either control both sleeves, or really common position is you want to be able to control this collar, this lapel over here. I want to go deep. I don't want to pull it down here. I want to go back right behind the neck, control the sleeve. That way, there's a lot of different opportunities for me to control my opponent along with submissions. Let's go under guard. If you're on top of your opponent's guard, some fundamentals that you want to think about is picture a line going right down your opponent's body. I never want to cross that arm. Or I should say, I never want to cross the line with that arm. Because if I do, he could do a move called an arm bar, which puts me in a bad position. I want my elbows tucked in like this, almost how a T-Rex has short arms. That's my first thing I want to think about. I'm thinking about posture. I don't want to be down here. I don't want to give him my head, especially my neck. So my arms are tucked in, I'm postured up, and this is time for us to start to attack. Alright, my goal is not to do anything else but pass his guard. I want to break his legs out and advance to either side control or mount. I'm going to grab both of his lapels and I'm going to grab onto his pants over here. Next thing I want to think about is putting my knee right in the middle of his tailbone. Alright, this is going to make it really uncomfortable for him. So what I'm going to do, there's various guard passes. Again, this isn't an instructional video, I'm just demoing one. They come out over here. Oftentimes, you can get in a position over here where he has one of your legs locked up. So they're not around my hips, but they're around my leg. That's called half guard. So there's different attacks you can do on bottom, but my main thing is I want to try to get out of half guard and go into either mount or side control. Alright, I can knee slice pass this way and get out. I could set up submissions from half guard. I don't have as many compared to if I'm in side control or mount. Alright, to specify a guard pass, as I mentioned, I want to try to grab onto his lapels, hold them together, and I want to try to grab onto the pant leg. Alright, next, as I mentioned, get a knee in the middle, and I could take this foot, put it out. I don't want to step it forward. I could put it out, or I could leave it down, your preference. But this elbow over here is going to create pressure right into his thigh. When I do that, it's going to cause an immense amount of pain that's going to cause his leg to go down. So when I come over here, if I were to take this knee and bring it across, I have my shin essentially grinding down on his leg. It's very uncomfortable. All right, this is me keeping his leg down. It's pinned down right now. He's not really getting it from me. After I get this here, if I were to take this and just put it forward, he gets half credit. So I only got half credit of what I'm trying to do. Lock it up again. So if I pass this way, or if I put my foot back out, I put this knee here. I want to keep it here. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to underhook this arm. I'm going to go right over here. This leg is still not moving. It's the last thing that's going to move now. This is pinning everything down for me to get the rest of my body. So I have this leg here. I have my upper body ready. I'm going to take this last leg, pull it out, and we're going to advance to side control. The last main positioning we're going to go over is control of the back. This is probably the most dominant position you could be in either MMA or Jiu-Jitsu. I have what's called my hooks right in front of his waist by each leg. I never want to cross my ankles. I just want to keep one on each side. And generally, what we want to do is called a seatbelt. I'm going to go over on one and under on the other, and I'm going to grab my own arm. It's called a seatbelt because it's going over, shoulder, and down, just like a seatbelt would be in your car. All right. This is going to be the best position because they can't attack you at all from here, but you have a lot of attacks, and you also have control of them in their most vulnerable spot. So if we're going to turn this way a little bit, I'm going to show two moves that could end a fight or a grappling match. All right, and they're both chokes. The first one is going to be a cross collar choke with the lapels. All right, I'm going to take my overarm and I'm going to grab onto his lapel, right under his neck. If I feel that I grab too low, I could take my underarm, pull it like a rope to get this right against his neck. I'm going to reach across, take the bottom one, and I'm ready to choke. So let's turn this way. To execute the move, after I get my gripping, I'm basically going to push my arms forward as if I'm pulling two pieces of rope across. I'm going to lean my back out a little bit and separate. When he feels he's being choked, he's going to tap. That means I let go. All right, turn it this way one more time. Here, here, I lean back, separate my chest from his back, and I pull. Another choke that you do, most common choke that you're going to find, especially if you're an MMA fan, is the rear naked choke. The most important submission in all MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to take this over. It's going to come behind his head, grab onto my bicep, and this hand over here is going to go behind his head, and I'm going to flex my arms and squeeze and push his head forward at the same time, trying to create as little space around his neck as I can, causing the tap.